Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests on this Wednesday brought to you by Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca, as we're joined now by Ian Furness from KJR Sports Radio in Seattle. The Seahawks on a bye week after the loss to Tampa Bay in Germany. You did not go to Germany. Let's set the record straight there. Ian, how are you?
I'm good, gentlemen. How are you?
Good. What was the general opinion of the Seahawks experience in Germany?
I mean, they said the right things about it. They certainly, raved about the atmosphere and everything surrounding the game. Everyone was really disappointed and hated the field conditions. They were atrocious, and I think it affected Seattle more than Tampa. I know both teams play on the same surface, but one team always plays on grass. The other one does not. That would be Seattle, and they just weren't prepared for it. You saw Ken Walker had problems with it. He couldn't plant. He couldn't do anything. The defensive line looked like they were on, basically on sleds. So that was hard. They didn't adjust to it. They didn't adjust to the running game of the Tampa Bay. And you know what, guys? They were going to have a dud. I mean, it happened, right? You're going to have a dud along the way, and I think I would just chalk that up to that was the dud. And by the way, they lost to the greatest quarterback of all time, who kind of was backed up into a corner in that game, playing a little more desperate than Seattle.
Ian, we'll hopefully get back to the Seahawks in a second. But this is Seahawks related, but perhaps you've heard this. I know you pay attention to things north of the border. Nathan Rourke, there is a report going around. Adam Schefter tweeted it out yesterday that he's going to be working out for at least 2 NFL teams next week. Apparently 24 NFL teams are interested in the Lions quarterback. Are the Seahawks one of them, from what you know?
Well, let me just backtrack a little bit, because I'm not sure if it was with you guys or with your friends S and P as well. One of the 2 shows I love to listen to up there in Vancouver. You
do other shows around here? I thought there was an exclusive deal.
No, I'm not doing their show.
Oh,
I on occasion I listen to their podcast.
That's even worse.
What's S&P?
It's oil you put in your car.
Sounds like a burger joint.
Salt and pepper.
Well, listen, you were on with them the other day, fella, so I'm not sure what you're chirping here. All right, and like Jeff Patterson, wasn't he on just before me? I think he's on with there feels like this weird symbiotic cross pollination going on between you guys. I don't know. Listen. Far be it from me to get involved in your silly affairs and your inbreeding up there, but there is some weird, funky stuff going on with you guys. I digress.
Yes,
I heard my friend Farhan talking about the situation, and let's take a step back.
Okay,
every NFL team is interested in every free agent wherever they may be. And in Rourke's situation, had this incredible year in the CFL. Schefter said, 20 teams, 24 teams?
Yep.
Nonsense. 32 teams are interested in him. Interested doesn't mean sign. Interested doesn't mean even bringing him in for a tryout. Every team would be interested in him. Every team is scouring the area. Look, British Columbia has a scout that lives here in Seattle and is very tight with the Seattle Seahawks personnel and front office folks. I'm not going to sell out a guy who joins me every Friday, but people know who he is. So there's all this conversation going on. You would be negligent in your duties if you weren't checking into him. Every week, the NFL, especially on Tuesdays when it's an off day for most teams, we go to the NFL communication site and we can see all the players. Every team brings in 10 guys a week and tries them out.
Yeah,
like just goes through workouts and goes through tryouts. So let's just take one step back. Rourke getting a tryout with an NFL team is not a big deal. Okay. I mean, honestly, he's going to probably get a half dozen of those. And the contract situation, he can probably make more in the CFL next year than he would down here. But I agree with Farhan. It's the best league, and if you have that opportunity, go for it. So I wouldn't panic just yet if I'm a BC Lion fan, knowing that I bet the Seahawks brought a quarterback. I haven't looked at the wire, but I bet they brought a quarterback in that no one's ever heard of before and tried him out this week for the practice squad as well. So I think if he gets an opportunity. and it's a guaranteed contract, and they say, listen, at worst, you're going to be on the practice squad, then he jumps at it. But those are hard to come by, guys.
Yeah,
those are really hard to come by. So we'll see. We'll see.
The NCAA is pumping out a lot of great QBs all the time.
Every year. And, and just real quick, every year you see all these great college quarterbacks that we all know their names, and then they get cut and they never make a team.
They never.
It's really hard.
They don't make teams in the CFL.
Yeah, big time.
Exactly.
Your hockey team is doing really well, the Kraken. A lot of good numbers here. I like the 45 goals against, because last year this time that number was probably in the 60s or 70s. I mean, They are keeping the puck out of the net. Their goal differential is very impressive at +7. So a lot of good things happening with the Kraken. What's the feel there right now, Ian?
Well, it's all about the guy from North Vancouver, right? It's all about Martin Jones.
Oh.
Grubauer goes out, and it's all about Martin. Listen, not a Burnaby guy, Donnie.
No,
North Van.
We'll excuse him for that.
Let's make sure we know he's a North Van guy, just like my aunt and uncle the Hammonds were from the North Van, right underneath Grouse Mountain up there, right? So
hello to the Hammonds.
All about North. Hello, Ian and Keith and Drew, my second cousins. Absolutely, hello to the Hammonds. Listen. It's all about Marty Jones has been fantastic. Grubauer was on the ice yesterday, guys, for a long time, and we'll see. He might get activated by tomorrow, but I don't know. I don't know how you go away from the hot hand. Martin Jones has been fantastic lately for his team. He's carried this team. Listen, if it wasn't for overtimes this year and last year, they'd be a lot better. You know, they're 1-8 in games decided in overtime. 1-8 over their year plus in the league. But they're 1-3 this year. 0-3. I'm sorry, 0-3 this year. 1-5 last year, whatever it is. And so they can't win in overtime. They blew one the other night against your friends the Jets from Manitoba. Carson Soucy decided it'd be a good idea to punch a guy in the head in the final 30 seconds and draw a penalty, and they got tied it up on a 6-on-4. So, hey, listen, they're playing really well. Jones has been great. We're going to have a goaltender controversy down here, just like you guys have up there, where the number one guy isn't playing as well as the number two guy. It's the exact same thing you guys are dealing with Martin and Demko, right?
Yep. And Kraken can't win at home either. That's part of the problem. They're better on the road than they are at home.
And they've got a great home ice advantage. The rink's phenomenal. The crowd's great. They got the little troll running around as the mascot. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and I like the reverse retros as well.
Those were good. Those were good.
Yeah, one of those things where you say to yourself, "Are those better than their regular uniforms?" I'm not sure. But
the answer is yes.
It's up for debate. The uniforms are pretty good to start with, and then those I think went a step further.
Very nice.
That's why the Portland Winterhawks copied the uniforms. Have you noticed that? Have you guys seen them up?
No, I haven't.
Rolled into Langley yet?
No.
Yeah, the old Chicken Hawks down there in Portland, they got away from the traditional red and black, and if you look at their uniform color scheme, it's the exact same as the Kraken. If you bring it up, they get really upset. And then the Portland Trailblazers, they had an alternate jersey last night. They call it airport carpet. Apparently, they like their carpet in the airport out at PDX there.
Okay,
and it's the same color scheme as well. I mean, the Seattle envy in Portland is just it's overwhelming at times, guys.
Yeah. Are there any Hammonds in Portland or Winnipeg?
The Hammonds are only up in British Columbia.
Okay.
My second cousin Ian's up in Kamloops. Are you guys up in Kamloops? Can you?
Kamloops, beautiful.
Yeah.
Ian and Dee Hammond up there in Kamloops. So yeah,
we have a strong following in Kamloops. No question about it. So.
Yeah, and my other cousin, the Schmaltzes, they're up there in Vancouver as well. So hello.
We're gonna let you go now.
We're gonna let you go now. It's
the Furness family tree.
The family tree
next week.
It's just my Canadian side. I'm coming up there at some point. By the way, this is a warning. This is a warning shot over the bow. I'm coming up there to see you guys at some point.
Oh, wow, nice.
Ryan invited me. He told me I could come up and say hi to you guys after the Seahawks season's over.
Hey, Ian, we'll save some charcuterie for you, okay?
Yeah.
There's $800 worth of it in the studio right now. We'll save some. It'll be 3 weeks old, but what the heck? Don't worry about it.
Nothing like some stale cheese, fellas. Absolutely.
Thanks, my friend.
See you, boys.
Okay, Ian Furness, KJR Sports Radio in Seattle, and a hello to the Hammonds in North Vancouver and the Schmaltzes in Kamloops.
The Portland Winterhawks, I know they had to change it, their uniforms, Donnie, but their old ones were so nice.
Do you have a shot of the
new ones?
I'm the uniform guy.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of this. The Winterhawks changed not just their uniforms, but
the logo. They changed the logo.
I know they changed the logo.
Yeah.
But did we?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Wow.
That's a very nice. The one on the right is nice.
Come on.
That's such a rip-off. Oh,
that's
my
awful.
God. Yeah, but hold it a second.
It's not
nice,
awful.
though.
It's great if you're the Kraken, but that's such an obvious rip-off.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's lame.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of the teal craze of the 90s.
San Jose started it.
This is working for somebody else, so everybody copied it. People, the Grizzlies. Remember the Detroit Pistons having teal uniforms?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's disappointing.
But that's their alternate, right?
No,
that's
those are their jerseys.
Those are the jerseys.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's disappointing. I like creativity in my uniforms. Originality.